his makeup is like I got white face, and it's supposed to be. You look at the bottle and it's not this color. I don't know, but it's supposed to be one of the best foundations. I don't know. I got it on clearance. You know, somebody returned it or something. So I only paid $5. So I'm not gonna waste it. Shit, you know. But it do. I see now that, and it's winter time. Can you imagine it like the summertime? Like I don't know. This is what people like. So I was just looking at the headlines, and it's reading that it said that Trump said U.S. should probably stop buying from Venezuela. Very good news if true. Would cripple President Nicolás Maduro if Chevron's license to deal in Venezuela has been revoked. So it's not that. It is not that. I would say a tweet from the 20th. That was a tweet from the 20th. Let me read the whole thing. The whole crap that, yeah, he already said that before, and he's saying it again. He is saying it again. You know that. I mean, was it like a year ago? Not even a year ago. He had a statement saying that he was about to orchestrate a coup d'etat in Venezuela, that he was this close, but Biden took office. And he was outraged because had he had his 4 more years back to back, you know, he would have like stolen all the oil from the people of Venezuela. That is like, they're not psychopaths. I don't want you to think they're psychopaths. So, I haven't read it, but I think that's what he meant. You're gonna stop buying oil from Venezuela, meaning that it's gonna be an invasion, just like they've done it in many parts of the world, and steal all their resources. Unbelievable. In a statement signaling a potential shift in U.S. energy policies towards Venezuela, Trump declared that his administration might stop purchasing Venezuelan oil. We don't need their oil. You know, the orange thing said during a press conference, hinting at a strategy of maximum economic pressure on President Nicolás Maduro. During his first formal press conference, ay Dios, you know, copycats, because we do that in Mexico, but we do it every day at 7 a.m. During his first formal press conference following his re-election, Trump not only emphasized the U.S. energy independence, but also expressed his intent to impose economic sanctions if Venezuela fails to cooperate, deporting its citizens. Everything is hinging on immigration, because the international courts, international organizations are crap. There's all this evidence that the whites are egging people on in Latin America to migrate, and not only that, they're paying and they're doing all these false flag operations. So bitch, please. Venezuela and other countries didn't treat us very well during my administration. Underscoring the need of a firmer policy. Good riddance. I mean, it's like everybody want oil. So it's like, but what they're really implying is that, calling up all their sleepy cells or whatever they call them, to activate and start escalating. But guess what? Venezuela got the strongest and the best military and armed forces, and it's only gonna be like what they did over there, throwing China in the arms of Russia. That's it. You keep up your bullshit, we're gonna start going east. Checks and balances. Ain't that what they're always bitching about? This announcement come amid pressure from U.S. oil industry leaders urging Trump to reconsider giving that Venezuela supply a significant amount of crude oil to the United States. However, the appointment of figures like Mike Waltz and Marco Rubio, known for their strong opposition to President Nicolas Maduro's, suggests the new administration will take a hardline stance on the issue. If I was Venezuelan, if I was President Maduro, guess what? You're gonna start building a wall. I know it's not easy, but you start somewhere. Enough is enough. We gotta go back to walled cities, to walled countries. He haven't mentioned nothing about the wall because he finally realized that, oh shit, we're just gonna scare them all to flee down south. I mean, they're doing it already, but I think they're gonna be planning something worse. So Rick Scott said that there will be no business with Venezuela. From the Venezuelan side, the Prime Minister of Venezuela, Ivan Gil, or whatever you pronounce it. What I just told you. He said what I, in other words, but these are pirates. These are pirates coming after your booty. The impact of this policy could be significant, not only for Venezuela, but also for the global oil market. Countries like Saudi Arabia or alternative producers like Canada could benefit from a supply gap, although Venezuela's ability to redirect its oil to other markets should not be underestimated. Of course not. I mean, everybody want oil. I mean, like, the whole world run on gas. Several media outlets have reported that under Biden's administration, certain sanctions were eased to allow companies like Chevron to purchase Venezuelan oil. This policy reversal under Trump could roll back those measures, affecting not only Venezuela but also U.S. companies operating there. With Trump's return to the White House, look at this, such a dictatorship, and they got all these white corporations, doing business in Venezuela, like everybody else. With Trump's return to the White House, it was not less expected the U.S. pressure on these kinds of socialist regime politicians was quite necessary. Necessary for whom? This is what I'm talking about. Forever. This is how white privilege get manufactured. This is how white privilege get made. With the blood of human people. This is mankind versus humanity. This is what it is. These are psychopaths, bloodthirsty psychopaths. And nobody can stop them, for real? Is that white boy magic so powerful still? The satanic Babylonian magic that they got everybody under their spell, including myself, that I wasted 35 years in the goddamn shithole country, because that is a shithole country. For real. It's always been their technique, Let's accuse them of what we are doing. It's outrageous. It is outrageous, that they're calling my ancestors, cannibals and human sacrifices. Like, bitch, where? Bitch, where? You took everything. And they finally started giving us some of our stuff back, the codex. But guess what? They all been altered. All our ancestors' skin has been whitened, bleached, whatever. I mean, how many times they got caught, these archaeologists, which are nothing but, race, whatever. Race warriors or whatever they call themselves, This is who I follow. And he is not in that list. He's not declassifying his files. Malcolm X files. I wonder why. I wonder why. And they've been loving Martin Luther King because he was a traitor to his own people. Malcolm X was offered $6 million. Three times. It's kind of like the Bible. I don't know. This is what the crackers do with the number 3. I don't know. So, and he refused 3 times. He could still be alive, living it up, just like Messy Jesse and Al Sharpton and all these effing clowns, you know. But he did it, and he paid the ultimate price. Oh my God. Oh, it's time to wash my hair again. But it's so freaking cold. Today is like, and I really just opened the window a little bit, you know, but I woke up like this, so I did this parting of my hair anyway. Oh, hey, Didi. I'm like, we gotta have some dignity and start ignoring the Neanderthals. That's it. Like, okay, whatever, but collectively, a collective boycott. I mean, like a man cut. We don't need a boycott. We need a real man cut. That should exist, that word. I don't know. But it should exist. Because the boycott don't work. We need a man cut. They're just like stupid now. And you know, I don't know. I you know, they shut down my account again. You know, Elon Musk shut down my account again. You know, just like he promised. Just like he promised, he walked in with a sink. And sure enough, he's sinking Twitter. Like, who can do that? Who do that? You bought this bitch for $22 billion. And now that shit is worth only $12 billion. Bitch lost $10 billion in less than a year. No sweat. He's not paying his bills. He's not like, but, I mean, he's never do. I mean, it's the small hats. It's the small hats bitch. But the small hats are the ones in charge of white privilege. So, nice try, Chicken Stew Peters. I mean, like, it's like, oh no, it's not the whites. It's the Jews. It's the Jewry. It's the Jews. It's like, really? Really? Who's financing the damn motherfuckers? Oh no, they hijacked Washington. You know, they're like, whatever. Yeah, because you're stupid. And you let them, in the name of white privilege, you allow anything and anybody, as long as they promise. I mean, if you have, everybody we have studied Nazi Germany, which is a redundancy, because Germany always been Nazi. And Junior, the Baroness, you know, he did this. I mean, and we all keeping quiet. We all keeping quiet. Like, I don't even, I don't, the way I do my research, I go and look before I watch. You know, that's why they have the filters. There's so many idiots, they don't even use the filters. You know, you can look by, you know, view count. You can look by ratings. You can look by, you know, And you keep looking, what was uploaded today about this shit. And that's how you find out, all this shit. I mean, like, I think this shit is so fucking gay. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how you did it. Like, I don't know what it means. I mean, I'm not going to say because I don't want to waste my time on this shit. But I know that the whites, they get moist when they see this. I don't know how they do it. I guess you got to be gay or something to do the Hitler salute, whatever. I mean, like, but they saw Musk or mosque or whatever. I'm not saying that. I mean, they already got their chance 8 years ago. Pepito, and it was hilarious. I think it's still, they having, whatever comedies on, the khaki pants and the tiki torches and the manicures, and they're like, oh, we're gonna fuck you up. We're gonna fuck you. Whatever happened to that guy who got punched in the like 5 times, and it was his own people. They cannot even stand each other. It was not a leftist. It was like, oh my God, what was it, Spencer or something? Spencer White? I don't know. I don't remember. There's just so much garbage, so much bullshit. I don't do that. I really don't. The thing is that I scroll up and, I'm usually right. I don't need to read the whole thing, but long story short, they, and I like I always say, that everything was planned, and the plan is working out so far, but I mean, 4 more years. I mean, like, I gotta say that was, I think, one of the best strategies. I was gonna say the 20th century, but we're in the 21st century, 21. I mean, but it was so. I mean, I saw it from the get-go. January 6th, bullshit crap that nobody can even describe, what was January 6th? Was it a gay parade? Was it a, like, whatever? And that is the thing, that it's anything you want it to be. Anything you want it to be. That January 6th. And it's a psyop, just like the Twin Towers, just like so many other stuff, that it's just like, it's the official narrative. It is the official narrative. I give them that. That they have managed to, I don't know, stupidify the planet. I mean, not everybody, but because, let's face it, it's like 3/4 of the planet do not give a fuck, because they don't even have a smartphone, they don't even, like, whatever. So, which is a big part of the problem, and but that's not to say that we have had some huge victories And when you say we, I'm talking about humanity. Humanity against the Neanderthals, against mankind. And that's why you see them so out of character. You see them so like not giving a damn. Like Biden, I think he even took the salt shakers and the silverware because they're broke. They're broke. I mean, they got millions and millions of dollars, but they're broke because it's not, the world is not their oyster, like they used to say, you know, the world is my oyster, blah 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 blah, blah. It is not. It is not. And they're wandering around the planet. I see them even over here. Unfortunately, they see me, they run away. I'm like, I see you're a vampire, motherfucker. What are you doing in my hometown? Oh, they're so very well behaved over here. You got no idea. They walk around like this and excuse me, like whatever, blah, blah, blah. But when I was in the United States, oh my God, there was like, and when you see, it's a doctrine. It is a motherfucking doctrine. Friendly fire is a doctrine. It's cannibalism. It's cannibalism. What they doing in Europe. I mean, I don't know if you got to see the speech from Ursula von der Leyen. Von der Leyen. It is unbelievable, and now I cannot find it nowhere. I found it, and it was, interestingly enough, it was dubbed in whatever, in Latin American, because it's not Spanish, because Spain did not even exist, right? It was Castilian, whatever, and with a straight face, she's telling them in doubles, whatever, like that they had to sacrifice and punish the bad, evil Russia. But she actually said that now, the whites are free. The whites in Europe are now free. But there is a huge price for that freedom. Meaning that they have to pay like 100 times more for oil and gas. And she said it, it was like, shit. She didn't say shit, but she said like, she probably thought it, And that's where I hold President Putin accountable for sponsoring terrorism, giving the itty bitty tiny European, it's the same shit, practically, the European peninsula, practically free oil and gas. And I told him several times, and I'm about to tell him again, you do that shit again, I'm like, when all those people who say not all whites, and I know they ain't white. We see like malaria. She's like, and she actually put a picture of her eye on her avatar. I don't know if it's Twitter, I don't know, whatever. Now I'm in Truth Social, which is not truth and it's not social. But you know why they call them Truth Social, right? Because it's a homage to Hitler and the Nazi party, what they call it, I forgot what they call it. But it was like socialist party. It was like it was the trolling of the real socialist party. It was like Trotsky was the bastardization, the prostitution of socialism. Anyway, I forgot what I was saying. Like, oh my goodness. But I doubt it. They would dare to invade or to, they're doing it every day. Like, especially after the elections of July 28, 2024, they had like 100 attempts, to destabilize Venezuela, to destabilize government, to orchestrate a coup d'etat. Like I always say, like, even the Interpol, which, you see, this is where you get to know the whites. They they love each other, but not as much. That was the revenge. The Britain or London, whatever they want to call themselves, that was like not so fast. And they wrote a letter to President Nicolás Maduro Moros, telling him there is these ships, these boats, these whatever, barcos that we call them, like full of weapons and passports and cell phones and everything, basically Mossad, heading to Venezuela. Watch out. Thank you God for corruption. And thank you for, that they are psychopaths, and that's what they're consuming each other. I still think about it, like, can you imagine? Like, how much you have to hate each other to write a letter to the president of Venezuela warning them about this. I don't even want to think about it. What it would have been if they hadn't been for that letter from the Interpol. I go like, oh, thank you God, and that was just one of many, they took down the power grid. They tried everything, from the air, from the waters, from land. And they come just the same way they wasn't able to do anything in Cuba, because it's like this. When you talk about people and government, there's this unity, and that's what they do in Venezuela. They have the union of the armed forces and the population. And it's not like, oh my God, like, if you see something, say something. No, over there, everybody is, a watchdog for their homeland. It's never gonna happen. I don't see it happening. I do not see it happening. And like, if they continue to escalate, that's all they're gonna say, and we're gonna say it too. Right here in Mexico, we're gonna say, guess what? I think it's time for, Russia to put a few military bases over here. It's not gonna be no Cold War, because there's not gonna be, but, it's gonna get interesting. Do not think that we're gonna hesitate. There's people already asking for Russia to come over here, because our neighbors, they're the worst neighbors we could even think of. You know, Mexico was Palestine way before even the terrorist state of fake Israel even existed. You know, they took more than 60% of our land. Even Oregon, the state of Oregon, was ours. And now they're trying, no, that wasn't ours. That was from Spain. That was like, bitch, you know, like, stop it. You know, they don't even know that. That is always the lies and deception. Lies and deception. I really feel sometimes, you know, the people that are so biblical and shit, you know, they're like, you know, the apocalypse is already past. This is like a post-apocalyptic shit, and like, but, you know, social media is doing wonders against white privilege. And it's coming to a point that, you know, you see them shoot themselves in the foot every day. You know, but because they are so paranoid, they're always like, they're losing white privilege every day. You know, and that's great. And that's great. I mean, like, I just heard let me pause it.
Down for 3 weeks, and you can handle it. The price of food goes up 30% a year, and you can handle it. And the way you can handle it is by doing more for yourself, either individually or collectively within your community. Okay, so the more you can build local fresh food systems, the more you can, you know, build a well. I used to have a client who would always complain to me that the yields in her stock portfolio were going down, and she was at a place where she could build a well. I said, it's real simple: sell your stocks and build a well. Because we've been intermediated by the corporations, and we can disintermediate them. But it means we have to do more for ourselves, more locally, more with other people, and that's what builds in the huge resilience. So I was pretty sure that the financial coup would lead to significant inflation, and it's one of the reasons I moved my home base in the United States to one of the lowest cost areas. So, you know, and so I've had much less inflation over the last 10 years than if I lived in the high inflation areas, but I'm also in a place where people know tremendous amounts about how to do everything for ourselves. You know, and that's the ethic. The second thing I would say is, if you have kids, with rare exception, you're gonna have to homeschool or start a school. Unfortunately, everybody's paying real estate taxes to a jurisdiction, and that jurisdiction is using that money in a way that, in the best case, is just not getting your child the kind of education you need. So the most important investment most families make is raising their children. And so I would really rethink how you raise your child and how your children get educated, because that's going to have a very, very important swing. Healthcare, believe it or not, the greatest source, in my experience, of destruction of family wealth is chronic disease and things like vaccine injury. And so it is worth it to spend the time and money to get off the healthcare treadmill, and it is very, very important to spend as much as you can for the highest quality fresh food. So if you can build really fresh food, so all of these things that I'm talking about now, Whitney, are about building your living equity, not your financial equity. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't do that, there's not enough financial equity in the world that can make up for the drain you're going to get on your living equity. Right. Okay. So that's the number one. Number two, jurisdiction matters. The reason you are where you are was because you were in a jurisdiction that was no longer compatible with
She's in England.
the way you were going to live, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So
Dr.
I can
Julian
explain
Assange.
why a little bit. So, you know,
Julian
some of the
Assange.
stuff you talked about, like people knowing how to do stuff for
supposedly
themselves
went
and
to
being
hell.
able to grow their own food.
And
That's
she's
why I
in
found where I
England.
was living in Chile very attractive. I
Right.
did not count on them going even farther than places like New Zealand and Ontario with COVID-19 so quickly. Chile already has a UBI. They already have a domestic vaccine passport that you need to go to the bank, to get gas, to go into the supermarket,
Wow.
and all of this stuff. And it got zero media coverage. It's almost like no one has really paid attention to Chile, you know, now that it's been launched in France or
She don't know her own
proposed
people.
in France. You know, there's protests and
Right.
stuff.
They're
Chile had
always like-
no protests, not a blip.
Wow.
Mass acceptance. Because
Why?
well, I would argue a couple things. One, cultural conditioning from the Pinochet era. People are just like, leave me alone as long. You know, a lot of people are very invested in maintaining the status quo, preventing instability, and all of that stuff. And just because of Operation Condor and a lot of things that happen, people just tend to acquiesce to power. And also, there's a lot of trust in the health institutions, which are seen as different than the government. And even though, the government was hugely unpopular, that was sort of reversed by this, we're in this together, it's a war effort type of approach to COVID-19, and then complete control of the media. Most Chileans get their news from the television, which is state TV or CNN,
right,
and things like that. So it was just very complete, and a lot of people not really willing to question what was going on there. But it's very unfortunate. Like even my kid's babysitter in Chile, who we absolutely loved and was like a second mom to my kid, basically was like, oh, the vaccine passport's going to bring relief and it's going to make things easier. And I was just like, how do I even start to explain this to you? And she's like a very well-meaning person and stuff, but it's because it's because of the TV. So I didn't expect that. Some of the things you were talking about, like resiliency and stuff, I saw problems with that in the U.S. Because I'm 31 and my generation in the U.S. like very few people know how to do anything for themselves in terms of producing their own food or things they use in their everyday life. And in Latin America, it's a very different approach. But a lot of this I didn't anticipate. So now I'm in the UK because I didn't really have many options for residency beyond Chile, where I had residency. So it was either the US or the UK. The UK was just easier for me because of personal circumstances. But compared to Chile, there's a lot more local resistance here than there was in Chile. So the acquiescence in Chile was obviously the most disconcerting to me for multiple reasons. And the fact that they wanted my 3-year-old to wear a mask outside all the time. And there was no daycare, no childcare. If they declared quarantine, you're only allowed out of your house for 4 hours a week, twice a week, 2 hours each. And you have to show police papers to prove that you're allowed to be out of your home. It's insane. It's beyond the Pinochet era. Like Pinochet, I don't think we imagine having that kind of power back when he was in charge. So it's just astounding.
Well, he didn't have digital technology.
Well, they had some, like Operation Condor, where a lot of databases and things like that and whatnot, and tracking technology. But back when he was in charge, so it's just astounding.
Well, he didn't have digital technology.
Well, they had some, like Operation Condor, relied on databases and things like that, and whatnot, and tracking technology. But of that era, the advances in technology have allowed a lot of this to advance to levels they never previously perhaps thought possible. The reason I'm in the UK now is because of a lot of stuff that you have mentioned, resilience and stuff like that. But, the reason I'm in the UK now is because of a lot of stuff that you have mentioned, resilience and stuff like that. But, for different reasons.
Right. So jurisdiction matters. If you're not in a good jurisdiction and you have the ability to get to a better jurisdiction, particularly if you can get to a better jurisdiction with like-minded people. Okay, I'm talking about all the things that significantly reduce your risk. Okay. From then on, particularly for your generation, the most important thing is to invest in your skills. Okay. Your skills are things you can take with you anywhere. They can't seize them. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So, for example, I would say you're investing to take the time to write the book on Epstein. It's a great investment. It's an investment in you and your. Well, I just read. Have you ever heard of a book called Furious Hours? Okay, stuff. Okay, it's a story. Apparently, after she had helped Truman Capote write In Cold Blood, Harper Lee.
Whatever. I don't even know how to turn it off. It went someplace else. I don't even know. I only got one browser, so I don't even know. Whatever. Anyway, so she ended up having to say, that because they started talking about lawless. They started talking about, one of the enemies of white privilege, right? The riots and stuff. And Whitney, which I don't even think is her real name, Whitney Webb. There was a supermodel called Veronica Webb. And I think she just got, I don't know. She's really weird, Brittany Webb. She looked like she's dying sometimes. She looked like really like skinny. And these times she looked okay. She looked good, I guess. In London, she's finding whatever. I don't know. But how can you gonna go? For real. She's supposed to be one of the leaders of the resistance, right? The dissidents. And she go to England after what they just supposedly did to Julian Assange. You know, this shit don't add up. This shit do not add up. You know that. Why are you gonna go to England? You know, and and she's okay putting out all her content. You know, it's controller position, like I always said. And you know, they're like, what they're doing is it's just like allowing characters like, you know, Catherine Austin Fitts and Whitney Webb and, you know, even Chicken Stew Peters, whatever. It's kind of like, you know, knowing who is interacting with them, who's part of their cycle, because they still have wet dreams about, you know, this time doing a real Holocaust, not like the pretend Holocaust from the white World War II. So, I mean, I think that's what it is. You know, like you think like, how can they be allowed? And even the craziest thing just happened because I saw my first video I saw of Catherine Austin Fitts, should be Austin Fats or whatever, Bruce Belange. She looked like the twin sister. There's some gay character. I don't even know what he did, but he was hideous. He was kind of like the drag queen, Divine, you know. And I think it was like, I don't know, 5 years ago. So, and I was like, you know, I mean, of course she's talking to other whites and, you know, how to protect themselves from what is happening and what's about to happen. And I mean, that's why I eavesdrop on the Neanderthals, you know, just to get a little bit of a heads up, you know, what they're like. And at that time, I think, no, that was already, but anyway, yeah, after that there was a documentary or something. I don't know if she was in a documentary. So anyway, so, you know what I do, I think, you know, a lot of us do that, you know, write down the names, write down the dates, write down, you know, these places, these events and everything. So we keep doing searches and searches and searches, you know, every now and then, you see if there's any more, you know, content and, you know, I mean, it's a whole process, you know, and then, so I put her name down. You know, searching online, searching on YouTube, searching everywhere. You know, nothing came up. Nothing came up. And yesterday I was looking from, I think it was Belize or something, I don't know. And boom, she's been having a channel. I mean, just once again, look at them, mighty whitey. How can they suppress somebody from all searches? And the first thing that came out, it was like, oops, bitch got her own channel on YouTube. She's never been censored or whatever. Meanwhile, I mean, I've had like, I don't know, countless channels and accounts. Shutter. This was the first video she posted 14 years ago. 14 years ago. This is what she used to look like. Isn't that crazy? Almost unrecognizable. In 14 years, she looked like, I don't know. I mean, you can tell a little bit that it's the same person. But she got her own channel. No problem. And for me, they have stolen so many I swear I looked it up. I looked up her name, and like I said, because she got a lot of insights. She used to work for Baby Bush. She used to be in his cabinet and stuff. This is her channel, and there's nothing coming out. Nothing coming out. I'm talking about like 5-6 years ago. I mean, I search her name at least twice a year. Nothing come out. Nothing come out. And now it's like, boom, all of a sudden, I found her channel. She just uploaded a video an hour ago. She got like sound bites, she got everything, all like 11,000 views, everything. It's white privilege. Effing white privilege. And she's dropping bombs. Big time. And what is it?
It probably still can go up some, but it's going to be a volatile, bumpy ride, and I had a dual reason. One was this sort of, ideological, decentralized future of computing world that I really do believe in, would be better, and it seemed like the perfect vehicle for that for such a long time, and I am just.
Oops! Oh my God! I hate these things. I don't know how to use these things.
Much less convinced of that, and so maybe Larry Fink with the BlackRock ETF surrendered to the forces, the anti-ESG forces, or maybe it's more like Bitcoin's been co-opted by them, and I worry it was more the latter.
So BlackRock's playing this 3-minute video about Bitcoin that it's laws, and so it's got to disclose this. No, just look at this. It's just unbelievable. So this is in the middle of their video. They don't even say this. It's just, it goes by very quickly. There is no guarantee that Bitcoin's 21 million supply cap will not be changed.
No, you don't say.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'll just say this not in my elegant financial language, but the whole thing was a ruse.
Yes.
The 21 million cap is total BS.
Believe me, man is capable of somehow creating more Bitcoin. They tell you they're not going to do it. They mean they're not going to do it unless they want it. That's what they mean when they say they're not going to do it. Yeah. If they hear the rules and they can't do it, don't believe it. When there's enough incentive, bad things will happen.
Here's the funny thing. If you don't take it up, the miners don't have a way of making enough money to sustain the infrastructure, which is a real problem, because it turns out the infrastructure is a complete energy hog. I want you to listen to this elegant Yahoo Finance description. The shares, meaning the shares of the Bitcoin ETF, are intended to constitute. They don't say are, they say are intended. Okay, note that difference. Are intended to constitute a simple means of making an investment similar to an investment in Bitcoin. Okay, so they don't say you're investing in Bitcoin, and they don't say that it does constitute. They say it's intended to constitute, and it's similar. Okay, rather than by acquiring, holding, and trading Bitcoin directly on a peer-to-peer or other basis or via a digital asset exchange. Now, here's how BlackRock describes their investment objective on the ETF website. Quote, the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF seeks to reflect, it doesn't reflect, it seeks to reflect.
Seeks to reflect.
Okay. It seeks to reflect generally the performance of the price of Bitcoin. Right?
I mean,
I'm like, and she's untouchable. She talked about how the White House was after her one time. I guess that was like 10 years ago. And how her friends saved her fat ass, whatever. It's always like, it's so easy for the whites. And like, she's got a career probably like, what are you like, 15, 20 years? And all she talk about is white people. She's literally exposing white people. But if I had her access, whatever, I had her in front of me and I said, it's like, why don't you connect the dots? All of these problems, all of these, conniving. I mean, she's got so many videos. I mean, I just saw an interview she did, where she's at. She's in, I don't know, in the Netherlands somewhere. And all she talk about is just how awful white people are, how dishonest, how corrupt, and nothing. They don't do nothing to her. She's exposing some of the deepest secrets, how they hide their fees, how they and she's telling everybody how to do it. She's always raving about her bank in, I don't know, one of them states that I don't even know, like Minnesota or whatever. She's in the middle of nowhere, I mean, she's not there, but like she say, her main residence in the United States is in a state where she don't pay taxes, she don't do nothing. She got probably slaves, watching over her house and taking care of it, while she live over there in Holland, I think, in the Holland Tunnel. I don't know. Everybody say, why is it called Holland Tunnel? It should take you to Jersey. And anyway, so I don't think anybody's gonna watch this video. I mean, like, whatever. I don't care. I'm probably gonna move on. I gotta move on, and I gotta learn how to blog and everything. Supposedly there's more freedom over there, whatever. It's just like, I just feel like I feel so much better when I speak up against these garbage people. And I know it's pointless. I know it's like everything's shadow banned. I mean, like, I'm telling you, like 5-6 years, put in her name on YouTube. Catherine Austin Fitz. Nothing will come out. Like little nuggets, that was about it. Not her channel. She got her own channel. And she says she's being persecuted. How the bitch is getting persecuted when she got the YouTube channel? How is like Whitney Webb, how is she supposed to be one of the leaders of the dissidents when she's in London? Or whatever, Britain. But people think it's like, oh yeah, these are the voices of the dissidents, like Joe Rogan and what is the other Arab? They're all Arabs. Russell Crowe, whatever. Like they're all like, I mean. It's like, Sodom and Gomorrah, right? We're like, okay, bring me 100 righteous and I'll spare the whole town. No, there wasn't 100. Okay, bring me 50 righteous and nothing. All right, 20, 10. One righteous. So like, I mean, this is what we're talking about. It's like, and this is like, look at this one. This is, I think it's an official poster from WEF. It's shine a lot, right? Because it got you see, they got the logo and everything. These are the things I like about social media, how they leak a little bit, and then I go doing searches, I go doing searches and searches and search. You go to another country and search. You go to and search. You change the search name. You know, you add things. You subtract things. I know this is fear mongering, but interesting. And that's the friendly fire. They're always talking about friendly fire. Which one I was going to show you now? I forgot what I'm looking for. Let me show you this democracy. You see, it's all friendly fire, cannibalism, or whatever you want to call it. And none of them feminazis. They're talking about Syria. I mean, Syria stopped trending like not even a week after the coup d'etat. A lovely wife. They don't tell you why they treat their women like that. You know, they don't tell you. Look, this is from the white man. They're talking about Becky. This is so true. This is so true. But when I said it, they ruffled their feathers. Everybody's terrified of Becky. Oh my God, it's so horrible. But it's right on the nose. We know that black don't crack. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, like, and she was out for months. People was thinking, I don't know, or hoping, whatever. I don't know, that she was a goner. I don't know. But she came back to this conference. Look at this is like the process of MK, you know, as in Michael Kors, Ultra, Michelob Ultra. Look at her face. Oh my God. She's the niece of Adolf. She's Adolf's favorite niece. And now she's the, I don't know what she do. She's like one of them bitches of the ew. Oh my God. That picture is like, I don't know what I was gonna show you. It's probably on the phone. I don't even know which way it is, you know. You know, just this is the only one, I guess, who said it. But how did he find out? I think he's talking about Tartaria, whatever. Mongolia, no, whatever it was called. Every record has been destroyed or falsified. Every book rewritten, every picture has been reprinted, repainted. Every statue and street building has been renamed. Every date has been altered, and the process is continuing day by day and minute by minute. History has stopped. Nothing exists except an endless present in which the party is always right, meaning the crackers. And I mean, people talk about George Orwell and how Orwellian and blah 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 blah, but the first time I saw this quote was only 2-3 years ago. And I say, how come this is the quote? Well, that's what they do. That's what the whites do. father like son. It's a bastard, literally a bastard child, demon. And look at them, they're all Chinese, like malaria. Just like malaria Trump. They're all Chinese, look at that. Look at the chinky eyes. They're passing for white. They're passing for white. I mean, like, they go America first, and he got all his cabinet. They are foreigners. All his cabinet are foreigners. This was supposed to be Liberty Bell, the bell of the ball. It's like whoever these people was, you know, they was very expressive or whatever, you know. What is said, yeah, I mean, like, I went to Philly a couple of times and was like, that shit is crazy. Oh, that was the nation's capital city. That's why, you know, blah, 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 you know, like, they have major architecture in Philly. And I don't think I've seen nobody, you know, from the, whatever, Tartaria influencers talk about that. Of course he do. He take money from anything. Like I said, all these, like the two genders, the whatever, it's just like, give me money, and I can say there's a million genders. How many times we've seen them, the whites? This is an abomination. This is horrible. Give me money, like, whatever. That bitch was, I don't know what she was doing with Caitlyn Jenner. Because they say that bitch don't want surgery. That's what they say. Rumor has it that that bitch is packing. I don't do transgenders. I don't even know what the fuck that is. But all I know, that there no women got a phallus. There's no women with a phallus. If you don't cut it off, bitch, what can I tell you? I don't want to be around you. I don't feel safe. You know, I was like, you're not gonna cut it off? Like, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm like, but that's how they operate, you know. Oh, yes. You know, we're alike. No, we're not. You're a gay dude. Like, be fucking people with that thing. I'm like, oh my God, no. I mean, that is really like Sodom and Gomorrah. And like, you have like triple D's, and you got 12 inches. I'm like, how does that shit work? I mean, like, and all the faggots, you know, they don't have a problem now with that. They just want dick, no matter what, no matter who. I'm like, oh yeah, I never saw that one coming. In my days, you know, those was called dykes. This was called dykes or whatever, you know, it's like. But now it's been normalized because of the psychologists. You know, look at the power that they got. All these people, like, they go like, no, me never. You know, my booty is my booty. I will never do that shit, blah, blah, blah. And they go to the shrink, and the shrink is like, that is okay. That is... Or even the gay churches, they go to the gay church and like, man, fucking taking a whole train. I'm like, no, I don't do. I mean, I did go to therapy, but I knew from the right off the bat, I knew that was like. Well, I only knew back then that it was created for whites, by whites, and I never took a lot of shit seriously because they were trapped in the last ice age or mini ice age. That's how they got the nose. They got it like this. That's their nose because they was in the caves of northern Europe. So like 60 below zero temperatures every day, and at night I don't even know, I guess like 100 below. That's why they hate God. They're blaming God because they did not migrate like everybody else, went to Oceania, whatever they call it, South Africa. So they stay there and they got destroyed. Their DNA got botched, pineal gland. It's barely functioning. So that's why they're like, they don't waste any energy. When they speak, they don't move their lips. I mean, it's evidence. There's evidence right there, That's why they couldn't breathe. Imagine if they had like a real nose. Like, oh my God, I want to have surgery, so I can have a lot of air, oxygen. I'm always clogged. I got a deviated septum, and it's not that wide over here. So I'm really hoping that technology come on like that. I do care about aesthetics or whatever, but I just don't want to look like it's a surgery because I've never touched my face. So, but this I want to like widen out. That's why I get anxiety because I forget to get a lot of oxygen, and that's why the crackers are crazy because their nose is so narrow. It is so narrow, and like they don't waste any energy, even like speaking, because it was in the ice age. English, you can speak English without moving your lips. They go, how are you doing? All the languages you go like real people, like humanity. But mankind, they're gonna be able to save all their heat and energy. It's not like I just telling you, whatever hypotheses and everything substantiated. There is evidence, there's documentaries, they're hidden. Now, I used to know one. Oh shit, I forgot. But it's facts, not tales, not, theories, whatever. That's what happened to the whites. And we still don't believe it. Of course, they spend trillions of dollars a year making us believe that the whites are nice, the whites are cute, the whites are beautiful, the whites are that, and like they redefine beauty, or they attempted to redefine beauty. Even when we know the only standard of beauty is symmetry, proportions. They don't got it. Look at all the biracials, like Obama, they got like. Anyway, now I'm like, oops, an hour and almost 15 minutes later.